about this muskox setup just because it just sounds mad.
Yeah.
Like cold
It
as
was
balls,
fucking
bro.
mad. It was mad. It's funny because when I got I actually got a bad scar under this eye and I got another scar down here, and just from frostbite that kicked in real fast. Anyway, it went away, so I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I flew back to Australia where fucking the sun's out nearly 24/7, especially up north. And I got a suntan, and the scars come back. Like, they really showed up, so they keep showing up. I'm not sure if you can see them on my face
A
now.
little bit,
still,
not really.
yeah.
I can tell you where you're pointing. Yeah.
But that's how crazy the country was. It's like there was a bad scar here, and like it was exposed to the elements for maybe 20 minutes. And there was a scar over here, and it was like half the time. It was like maybe 10 minutes it was exposed for, and that's all it took. It just froze. Like there was a big frozen lump there, solid. And yeah, it was when I was first trying to line the hunt up, I was told that the season was closed, but it wasn't a season as in like, you can only hunt them September, October. They just meant that the season was closed as in it's too cold to hunt them right now. That's what another outfitter had told us.
Yeah, right.
And actually 2 outfitters had told me that when I tried the book. And then I actually got my friend Joe involved. He's an outfitter and guide, and he's got contacts everywhere. And I got him involved, and he ended up lining up that hunt. But even that went to tell you that even though this is a business to these people, they still wouldn't do it at that time of year. And we end up moving further north as well, where it was even colder to go and do it. And long story short, basically rocked up middle of nowhere. Well, I think we were like 600 miles from the North Pole. Like it's pretty as far north pretty much as you want to go, because the muskox don't go, all the way north either. And then, so we get there, and then we get in snowmobiles and go further north again to chase them. And it was freaking awesome. I had an hour and a half of shooting light each day. That's all it was. So the sun, if this is the horizon, the sun's underneath the horizon doing this every day. And it wasn't until the last day that I realized the moon was in the sky 24/7. So the moon was just in the sky doing this. It's like, that's so foreign. That's the face of the moon that I don't see back in Australia either.
Yeah, it's the opposite side.
Yeah, it was like, I kept looking at it, I'm like, fuck, the moon looks weird. And I'm like, so it was very foreign, It's like, but again, it's like what we were talking about before, like the world becomes as big as it is, and it's a fucking big, big world. It becomes small when 2 things, you don't take no for an answer. Like you want to go somewhere, you go there. And then you realize that the world is our playground, and it's like borders and countries and boundaries, and, and it's like, this is the perfect way to extinguish racism as well. That we're all just a creature of this earth, like
100%.
Not this land, not this country, not this state, not this blood. That's how I really feel. And feeling like that actually opens the whole world up to you. It's like, yeah, I'll go up there for sure. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then you intermingle with the locals, and, it's like, oh, they're all friendly just like me, Well, not all friendly, but they're friendly just like me. They're people just like me. They're just, which I've always known. But when you actually go there, you just, I don't know, you realize that, yeah, they were born there and they've got a certain name.
We're all just branches of one.
Hey?
We're all branches of the same tree,
100%, and then you get there and just, yeah, it was, so that was really appealing in itself, just to get there, hang out with the people that are born on that land, and go and essentially experience the world how they see it, and experience it, and just like, food differences, clothing differences, speech differences, appearance differences, and
lack of resources.
Oh, yeah,
man,
yeah.
I couldn't and correct me if I'm wrong. Like, it doesn't look like the actual shooting of the animal doesn't look incredibly difficult compared to most, but the actual experience of the whole thing.
Yeah, and I went into that knowing that already. And I actually spoke to the guide and even the cameraman and everything, and I said, look, this is how I want it to go down. I've seen certain films where they just, they pretty much walk straight up to them. So I knew that they were an animal that, and they do this for a reason, because they can't outrun wolves and they won't outrun a polar bear, so they stand their ground. They're a big, strong, tough animal. They literally just put all their asses together. So all it is just like a shield of horns out. And if the predator, in this case me, comes too close, one of those bulls will usually sharpen his antlers on the ice and his horns on the ice and charge. So it's at the point when one puts its head down and starts scraping the ice, you know they're about to charge and you can't go further than that unless you want to get charged, which is a massive risk out there. Like, just tearing your fucking clothes is a risk. It doesn't even have to get a horn in. It's that cold.
Yep.
And then, because we did a conversion with the wind, when the wind was hitting, when there was a day there it was minus 58 degrees, that would have been pretty close to about minus 75 degrees. So your skin can't be exposed to that for very long at all and you're fucked. So,
75, no, minus 75 Celsius.
Hey?
Celsius.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's fucking like you're pulling fish out of the river, right? Swimming fish out of the river. They hit the ice, the surface, and they just freeze solid.
Instantly.
Solid. You kill your muskox and you're trying to skin it and the skin's freezing on the muskox. So it's like stiff board to try and pull off, you know? It's like, it's extreme. But that's why no one wants to do it at that time of the year. That's exactly why I wanted to do it at that time of the year. I wanted to experience like something extreme, you know? And then, so, yeah, I already went into it knowing that you can't stalk them anyway because the snow goes to like an ice under your feet and it's like the most screechy noise. No matter how soft you try and walk, it's the most screechy noise and it's just like,
Yep.
And there's no other sound anywhere. So it's just like that sound is just like radiant and seems like 10 times louder, you know, because it's just no sound to block it out. So basically there was other things that were appealing, not the stalk, and it was the journey, getting there, the landscape, you know, and how wild and untamed it was and how extreme it was, you know, that was the point. You've still got to pull off a nice shot. You've still got to get in with